Thank you for joining me in this video. I have a late 2015 iMac, and in the past 5 months it has been showing symptoms of what I now am calling iMac sudden death. My iMac would suddenly shut down and power off to the point I could not switch it back on without removing the power socket, no matter how many times or how long I pressed the power on button. The only way I could restart was to remove the power cord, either from the Mac itself or from the main socket. Once I had removed the power cable, I was able to restart the Mac by pressing the power button. These tedious interruptions forced me to do some investigations. The Mac, along with other equipment in my office, is plugged into one of two uninterruptible power supplies, or UPS for short. At first I removed any equipment from the UPS sockets. My iMac was plugged into or sharing with other devices. That test was successful for almost 2 hours. The next thing I tried was to use an extension lead plugged into a socket in another room, then plugging my Mac into that. That test lasted 3.5 hours before iMac sudden death struck again. The next thing I tried was to ask Apple Care if they would supply me with a new mains cable so I could test the iMac using the new cable. I did manage to get up to management level within Apple Care. The final words from them were something like, "Sorry, but your iMac is 5 years old. We could sell you one if you still need to test." In a last-ditch attempt to test whether the Apple power cable was faulty, I tested the iMac using a UK kettle power lead. I could plug into the iMac. Naturally, I made sure that the fuse rating was correct for the iMac in the UK. I know the iMac will try to protect itself against power surges. I am at this point absolutely convinced it is an electrical problem, in whatever form that takes. When it comes to using software on my iMac, I purchase via the Apple Store or only trusted sites. I do regular maintenance sessions on my iMac. Fan speeds are under 1400 RPM. Temperature is currently at 35 to 47 Celsius. So from this standpoint, I feel my iMac is running absolutely normal. Having said that, I now turn to the internet for some solutions. There I find, over some years, similar problems with iMac powering off without any apparent reason. I read the woes of iMac users, where Apple engineers have replaced RAM, logic boards, power supplies, even suggested PRAM and SMC resets, reinstalling operating systems, booting in safe mode, then wait and see if it powers off at random. As I previously stated, I am absolutely convinced it is an electrical problem. It may not be a power surge, but what if it's an arcing problem? Please allow me to explain my thoughts on this. When the cooling fans are running, they suck in minute particles from the local environment. What if one of these minute particles starts arcing within the iMac? Could this trigger a shutdown, self-protection situation for the iMac? In my mind, absolutely yes. It absolutely could trigger a system shutdown without warning. With this theory in mind, and yes, it is as theory at this stage, can I clean the inside of the iMac without removing the screen or taking it into an Apple store for inspection at some cost to me, no doubt? Please stay with me on this. I'm going to go back to when I first took possession of this iMac back in 2015. The reason is, I believe, what I did back then has solved the problem that I was having, and many users out in the world are having or have had in the past, not just in recent times, but over a number of years. Sorry about this, and what I'm now calling iMac sudden death. What I'm about to tell you isn't an Apple approved procedure. It is just simply something that solved my problem, and I would like to pass this information on to you. If you have had a similar problem as I described earlier, and you feel you would like to follow my example, then please do. If you do not want to follow what I did, then that's fine. First of all, power off your Mac and remove the power cord. Then all other cables and any attached devices from your Mac. Please allow the Mac to cool down if it's previously been in use for even just a few minutes or more. Clear a space on your work surface big enough for your iMac to go screen down. Cover this space with a cloth to protect the screen. I strongly recommend asking the assistance of another person to safely lift and turn your iMac and carefully place it on the protected surface screen down. Locate the female power socket on your iMac. At the top of the socket you'll see a small grey button. Press it to release the memory compartment door. Remove the compartment door and set to one side. Locate the two levers on the left and right of the memory bay. Pull the two levers down to release the memory. Note, do not touch the memory DIMMs. As I previously mentioned, I did something back in 2015 that got me thinking about solving this problem. Well, what it was, I forgot to engage the memory cage when I turned the iMac on after a memory upgrade. And as you soon will find out, all hell broke loose. But please don't panic. Unlike me, I had no warning whatsoever. Hold down the power button, plug in the power cord, and you will hear enjoyed the sound of your fans cleaning the inside of your iMac. Turn your Mac off with a long hold on the power button. Push the RAM back in using the left and right levers. Replace the memory bay door. Turn on your iMac and continue using it just as I am now. I have intentionally had my iMac powered on 24/7 for the past 6 weeks, and not once has it powered off. If you are suffering iMac sudden death, I hope this solves it for you. Thank you very much and goodbye.